We were not sleeping. That's yeah.
We weren't sleeping.
Yeah.
It was all used. Every single moment was used.
That show was such a nightmare.
There was a lot of gear grinding.
There's like no right way to do it. You just
Whatever
have,
works.
Yeah, you just have to find the way it works for you.
Yeah.
6 young filmmakers from across Canada are animating their first major production, a 1-minute film with the full backing and support of the National Film Board of Canada. The catch? They only have 12 weeks.
I'm talking to bringing in a Celtic trio.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did all my scale mock-ups, and then right now I'm just trying to transfer them onto the wood so that I can get all the blocks cut out. And then hopefully by the end of the week I'll actually be able to start carving, or soon, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll start. I don't know, we'll see. It depends on Yannick and Matthew. I need to hunt them down and get them to saw these out, so we'll see.
My workspace is honestly such a mess, but I have all my stuff I need in arm's length within my fingertips, and that's really important. I get really kind of irritated when I have to go out and look for something that isn't like immediately accessible, so I try to keep it all around me very, very close.
A lot of time is spent not just like working on your own. A lot of the time is like communicating with your creative collaborators. So that actually takes a huge amount of time to just making sure everyone is on the same page in terms of the creative vision. And then we're like doing things together.
Weird eye. Whoa, the floating head.
12 weeks for 1 minute might seem like plenty, but it's actually incredibly short if you consider story development and crafting every element of every frame. Let's do some quick math. Standard playback is at 24 frames per second in film and most animation. This means to animate 1 second, you technically need 24 frames. And with 60 seconds in 1 minute, that's 1,440 frames. Yikes. However, not every frame needs to be unique. Take Aerin, for instance. For her 2D animated film, Super Mr. Woods, she is making a drawing for every third frame. That's what we call animating on threes. But you might choose to animate on twos or even ones, depending on how smooth you want the action to be. By animating on threes, Aerin can get a stylized movement and have to do fewer drawings. Some factors that would affect the animator's decision on how to animate include complexity of motion. Fast motion requires more frames. Time or budget constraints, less time, fewer frames. Style, some styles favor choppier movement. Or camera moves. You need more frames to avoid jitter. So yeah, it's a lot to think about.
Like literally from the moment I wake up every day to the moment I go to bed, I'm like on my computer working. If I'm not working, I'm thinking about working. Like I would dream, I will wake up sometimes, I will have a panic attack. I was like, oh my God, I have this walk cycle. I haven't done a walk cycle, it's due tomorrow. I was like, I have 24 frames per second of walk cycle. What am I gonna do? And then 2 hours later, I'm like making a sandwich in the kitchen. I'll be like, I don't have a walk cycle in my film.
This in real time, I feel like, shows why it's taken me triple the amount of time I thought it would take me to build a puppet. I hope no professional whittler sees this. I hope my dad doesn't see this because he'll look at my mess and be like, could have done it this way, and it would have been.
This is for Abbey's dad.
Faster.
There was a lot of applications that came in about animals observing people. We were so tired of seeing it at that point until we saw Abbey's, and we're like, oh whoa, no, this is, yeah. It's such a clever, it told such a multi-layered story in such a simple, fun way.
In a animating is the most fun. I was just like reminiscing on how fun animation was because I would just like come in, just be in my, because it's so, I don't know, it was nice being alone. I would just like put in my earphones and I'd have like a little solo party while animating, and that is fun. And I miss that.
That's really exciting to see. I think with NFB especially, is you start seeing filmmakers who really know what they want and what they're going to do with their films. Like Katie, I feel actually very trusting of her instincts. I feel like she, in a way where she will do something and you don't really know what it's going to be, but I feel like the process has been one where she needs that space to develop her thing.
Everyone was drawn to our application.
I usually just like try to use like the most basic settings, basic tools in a program and kind of see what I can do with them, because too many choices, I tend to make bad ones. So
your
keep
film
it simple.
does not reflect that. I feel like your film reflects not the basic standard.
Maybe so, maybe no.
I think when I'm working alone, there's a bigger chance of me working until I'm dead. Being at the NFB was like, oh, we're going to eat. Are you coming with us? And it was like, I should eat because it's something people do like in the day. So
Mégan, she's emerging as a filmmaker, knowing what she wants. Her story was the one that was the most, like it was a very organic process where she was developing how to tell the thing that she was feeling and thinking.
Also a very personal
story.
We should run some more tests. This could be the sign of something more serious. Could be an inflammatory arthritis, Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis. Let's try another medication.
the film is really about the first 6 months of my process. I was starting to see more and more blurry. I had a lot of light sensibility. I saw a lot of floaters in my vision. So I talked to my friends about like the different like things that were happening in my vision, kind of laughing, and they were like, Mégan, this is kind of serious. You should really like go and see someone. I called the optometrist. She was like, well, what you're describing to me is kind of serious. Like, I would like to see you tomorrow. And by the end of the appointment, she didn't tell me anything. She just had this worried look and said like, I'm gonna have to send you for tomorrow in this emergency, like new specialist. And the other specialist sent me to another specialist. Yeah. We don't know what I have, but we're trying different treatments, and some works, some other less. The more you think about what you can lose, the more you think about what you have.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think talking about like how vision is for granted in my film was kind of my whole point the whole time. My passion is watching movies. I want to do movies later on. If I don't have my vision, what am I gonna do?
Sunset. Me? Closer to the husband.
We don't want to go to like composer and be like, okay, this is the 10 music, do this, but different. So actually I told Vid that I do know what I want emotionally.
I would say a main feeling or like sensation is longing and residues. Like you're longing for someone.
Residues meaning?
Residues as something lingering. It's almost like when you have a dream, you dream about someone and you have this sensation of infatuation. And even when you wake up, that feeling stays with you.
It's him again. Even though it's animation, I want the tone of the film, the story to be more adult and more mature. It's really just a matter of finding the right emotion.
Vid was definitely great at really understanding where they wanted their film to go, and then if you watch the films, they're so different. He really just tried something in the spirit of like that particular film, and they were quite different when it came to music arrangements.
Because like this kind of thing is going to really help build the tension at the end, but I think it should be like way down under all of the interface sounds and things.
Totally.
It was kind of a learning curve for me. I guess the kind of extent of my collaboration on previous projects like this that I've done is just with one of my closest friends. But we've known each other since we were like 2 years old, so we just know each other so well at this point that I can talk to him in a way that I obviously can't talk to these people like. So I think I wanted to just be like really, really nice to everyone, obviously, but then also kind of came to realize that I needed to just be very like clear about what I wanted and what I wanted to communicate. And then it wasn't like mean to be direct or like assertive, especially about the music, because I think like the first pass of the music, it was beautiful, but it didn't really suit the atmosphere that I was going for. And I kind of wrestled with myself of like if I should even say anything, because I knew that he put a lot of time into it. I ended up giving the feedback that I wanted to, and he was like, great. He was like, thanks for the feedback. Like it was helpful to him, I think, too.
My film really did take a turn like in the last few weeks.
You acted the doctor, the optometrist.
Yeah, it was just because we tried a lot of things, and then at some point it was like, oh, maybe a voice, maybe with this new version we could have something that makes it more clear.
I have some more tests I'd like you to do. I have some more tests I want you to do.
Fred sent me a link and he said like go through this page and listen to all these demos of different actors, and I picked one and they brought him in and we did the voice recording. It was the first time I actually directed an actor that I didn't know at all like beforehand. It was a really fun experience. I really loved it.
I have to warn you, Mégan. We might never find out why this is happening to you.
Do a line, Katie. Katie was like the predominant voice in Aerin, and mine. Gus is Katie. Yeah, and the fisherman. Maybe just that, but like less high.
Katie voice for the girl.
This girl?
Yeah, but she was like saying like gibberish.
Talking in Simlish.
Yeah. Aerin, she's great, like individual instincts about what she's looking for, and I think that's why we were so compelled with her projects. I remember watching some of her initial films when we were doing the screening, and they're so compelling and unique. I watched lots of commercials, really? Like really bad commercials from last century to make myself like immersed in this, I don't know, this world, like full of like absurd commercialism, like advertisements of products people don't need, but the commercial itself is funny. One is it's not a real commercial. It's just a weird YouTube video. I don't know. I watched lots of weird YouTube video. One is called like Spaghetti Bear. It's like they put spaghetti in the bear.
Show your loved one you really care with the Cinco Pasta Bear, filled to the brim with fresh Italian-style pasta.
And I watched tons of videos like that. I took lots of inspiration from that. Yeah.
I came into work a month before the end. Don came up to me with a letter and he was like, Mégan, I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, he comes around with his little bits of knowledge.
He's always somewhere.
Who's the spirit doctor?
Spirit doctor is Donald McWilliams.
He's a very established NFB filmmaker. He knew Norman McLaren and was making films ever since way back when everything was on film.
He kind of says a different thing every time he comes in. He just says...
I think he's here tomorrow, but you should get an interview with him.
Interviewing Don.
Nobody else can describe Don but Don.
Okay. The name is Donald McWilliams, and I've been around since about 1968. because I've been around for so long, it was thought that I might be useful, as they call it, a spirit doctor.
Yeah, I love him. And I think there was a moment where I was feeling very emotionally down. He emailed me, he was like, "Dear Max, I'm still thinking about the meeting." It was a very contentious meeting. And he was worried about me, and he asked me how I'm doing and gave me a phone call, and we talked. So he's spirit doctor in that sense that when someone's feeling down, that he cares about you and he calls you and he asks you how you are and give you anecdote.
Animators are nice people. They're very supportive of each other, whereas live action filmmakers, very competitive, or can be.
So much of this hothouse experience is not about whether or not you can animate something on your own. It's about communication, communicating to your producers, communicating to your collaborators, defending your ideas, all those things. That communication, communicating your vision from what you see in your head to other people. That's very crucial in this experience, or just in filmmaking in general, I guess.
And there's no right way to do it. You just
whatever works.
Yeah, you just have to find the way it works for you.
Yeah.
Your communication style and your art.
Yeah.
And communicate, and as much as you can.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
The hardest part of production is over. Our filmmakers will now enter the home stretch, post-production. This is always a mad scramble. The animators are under huge pressure to finish before unveiling their work to the world. Keep watching to catch Abbey, Max, Mégan, Katie, Aerin, and Mitchell in the final episode of Inside Hothouse 15.
There was the head of the French animation studio, René Jodouin, was sitting in his office with him one day, and he had his office looked out onto the parking lot, and he swiveled in his chair, I remember, and he pointed out the window, and he says to me, "You don't look outside the window and ask, what shall I make a film about? The film is there inside of you and has to come out."